Hello everyone, it's Imani. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another video. And don't forget to hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss another upload from me. And if you're already subscribed, I really appreciate it. I appreciate the love y'all give me, as I always say. So today, I wanted to give y'all a little peek into my personal life. And I wanted to talk to y'all about my fiance, who was at the time my boyfriend, our experience as a couple with him going to basic training in the military. I wanted to make this video because I feel like when I was going through this, there wasn't enough videos out there for me to pick from, so I couldn't really get what I was looking for, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to put a video out there so if somebody relates to me, you know, I was able to help someone. So I just gonna give y'all like a little background story of our relationship. So we started dating, I want to say, yeah, like 6 months prior to him going to basic training, but we've known each other for, at that time, I want to say 8 years. We were best friends since middle school. And, you know, it just blossomed into a loving relationship. So when he decided to join the military, we weren't dating. So I felt like I couldn't really give my input. And he kind of explained to me as to why he wanted to join. So I was like, you know what, I have to be supportive. And prior to him joining the military, I'm not gonna say anti-military, but it wasn't like something I would tell people to do or recommend it. I'll say that. So he swore in 6 months before he left, and we just spent a lot of time together prior to him leaving because we knew that it would come. And he was a part of the DEP, which is the delayed entrance program, which is basically when you don't leave right away after you join the military. Like, you're kind of, I don't want to say stagnant, that's not the right word, but you're basically just home for a good minute before you have to leave. So he was a part of that, mainly because he was still in school and the Army didn't want to take him out of school so that he could go to basic. So he left in August, and like I said before, prior to that, we just hung out every single day. Like, we were attached at the hip. And, you know, my mom was kind of like, why y'all always hanging out all the time? Like, everybody would ask us that, but we knew why. We knew what was up. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't really explain it to nobody, but we knew there was going to be a time where we wish we hung out every single day because we can't do that anymore. So we just spent a lot of time together. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all in this video, I'm keeping it 100. I cried a lot. Prior to him leaving, I cried a few times. I never dealt with being with someone and like, I can't talk to them. Like, it just felt weird. Like, the things that you think about it, like, yo, I talk to this person every single day and communication is going to be cut like that. It was traumatizing. I know I probably sound dramatic, but if you ain't go through it, then you don't know what I'm talking about. So he left, and the day before he had to leave, my mom and I dropped him at the office, and then, well, the Army office, and then someone took him to a hotel and he stayed there the night before just so they could make sure like he doesn't go run off somewhere, like, because some people get cold feet, and in the military, which is why you really need to consider if you're going to join or not, once you swear in, like, that's it. You can't back out now. You keep, like, so really think about it before you swear in. So they make sure that you're going to basic. So the next day, he called me at like, I want to say like 8:30 in the morning. He was like, yeah, they told us that you guys can come early if you want to see us ship out or whatever. And I mean, of course I was gonna go see him, duh. So my mom was like, just go. Like, don't wait for your dad to take you or whatever. Because I had to get on a train to go see him, and I really wasn't trying to do that. But my mom was like, just go. So I went, and literally maybe an hour, well, prior to me getting there, I got lost. That pissed me the hell off. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, that really pissed me off. So prior to me getting there, I got lost. And then I get there, maybe an hour in, somebody walks in and they're like, time to say y'all goodbyes. We're shipping them out. And I'm like, yo, I just got here. Like, are you serious? Like, are you dead ass right now? Like, I was really, like, mad. Like, for real. I was just like, I just got here. So I'm like, oh my God. I didn't want to prolong the goodbye because I felt like it was going to make it worse. It's kind of one of those situations, like, for my females, you know what I'm talking about. It's like getting a Brazilian wax. Like, you just gotta do it. Like, you can't just... No, seriously, like, you just can't, like, think about it. Like, you just gotta do it. You know what I mean? So I was just like, goodbye. So then we go outside, and I hug him goodbye, and I start crying. Then somebody there was like, if y'all gonna do this, you need to either go inside or y'all need to separate. I was like, really? Like, that's how you gonna talk to me right now? But whatever. So I just said, I'm gonna go. Because, like, it didn't make sense to go back in there and say goodbye. Like, at this point, let's just, I'm a dip. You go your way, I go my way. I know that sounds harsh, but that's how it is. So this is where it gets a little rough. So the same day that he leaves, I leave to go back to school, which means I'm getting on a plane. His plane left before mine, and when he got where he was going, I was leaving to go back to school or whatever. So when I land, I see that his phone is still on. So I'm like, oh shoot, like, he didn't leave that phone call yet. Yes, woohoo! But my phone was dying. So I text him and I said, well, I got to Atlanta. Call me if you can. So in the process of that, I'm going to get my luggage. My phone dies. So I turn my phone on when I get in the car, and I have a voicemail. When I tell you I was so mad and angry at myself, like, I just felt like crap. Because it's like this is the last phone call I'm gonna get for Lord knows how long, and I missed it. Seriously? Really? But he left me a voicemail. Now, there's pros and cons to this, and I'll tell you why. The pros are you have a voicemail that you can listen to every single day until that person calls you, or you can just listen to it till whenever you don't want to listen to it anymore. You know what I mean? But the cons is that while they're going through this, you don't know what they're thinking. So the fact that you did not answer the phone, like, you don't know how that made them feel. Like, you know, it all depends on who you're dealing with. I'll just say that. My fiance, he's not an emotional person, so I know he probably was like, dang, she ain't answer, but I don't think he was mad at me, and he has yet to tell me he was. So, like I said, it all depends on who you're dealing with. So I was really upset. I think I cried like as soon as I got home that I didn't, that I missed his call. And then I want to say maybe a week after he made that phone call, he called me again to let me know that he shipped out. Shipped out doesn't mean like he literally got on a boat or whatever, but it just means that they are going to their battalion where they're going to be staying, and where their platoons are and all that, where their company is, that's where they're going to be. So in that time frame, he texted me his address for his letters. Now, I literally have wrote him every single day prior to that, so I had like 7 days worth of letters. So at this point, I had 2 big envelopes that were filled with letters and pictures and all that good stuff that I had sent out. Because at this point, I think I've watched like every single basic training video that was out there. So I kind of knew what to put in the envelopes and all that. And I'll get into that in a good minute or so. Just trying to wrap up this little story, I guess you could say. So he sends me his address. I send it to his friends. You know, that's one thing that I would encourage everyone to do, is to send it to as many people as you can, or people that you think will write a letter. So if you know some of his friends, send it to them. You know, they may send him a letter, and one of his friends actually did send him a letter that I had sent it to. So, you know, it's not like, I know you want to keep your relationship strong, but just keep in mind, it's not about y'all, you know what I mean? And if you go that extra mile, like, they'll see how supportive you are. Like, you're not just thinking about him and you're thinking about his friends, his family, all that. So just be mindful of that. So that's one thing that I suggest that you do, is like send it to other people. So I want to make a suggestion with your letters. I suggest that you send your basic trainee, I guess that's what you could call it, I don't know, soldier, whatever. You get the point. I suggest that you send them labels with your address and their address, so it's just easier for them to send out letters. They don't have to write your address so many times in their address. I had sent some to my fiance, and he really thought that they were really helpful, and he appreciated it. And I printed them out for myself too, so I didn't have to constantly write them, because that does get annoying when you're sitting there writing every single day. Like, I literally wrote Trevon every single day. He was like my diary, and I don't even write every day now, but like, I literally just told him how my day went. I was very detailed with my letters, and I wrote him every single day. So to constantly have to write out addresses, that can be annoying. And then towards the end of his basic training, I had ran out of envelopes, so I started to buy pre-stamped envelopes from the post office. It makes it so much easier. I suggest you do that from the beginning. So I hope when you do watch this video, you're not in the process you're preparing yourself. So definitely get pre-stamped envelopes and make labels. So one thing that really kept me going while Trevon was in basic is that there's this website called basictrainingphotos.com. This is not sponsored, just claiming that. I don't think the military would sponsor me to even say this, but I'm just saying, just had to throw it out there. But they literally posted photos all the time while he was there. So I literally checked it every single day. Like, there was not a day I did not check it, because that was my way of, I can't say communicate because I couldn't speak to him, but it was my way of seeing him, like, and just knowing he was okay. Like, you have to understand, like, you're literally your communication is cut off. Like, you go days, sometimes weeks without speaking to someone that you spoke to every single day. And to the point where if you didn't speak to them, you were mad. So, like, imagine, like, you don't speak to them at all. Like, it can, you know, you just got to prepare yourself. So the photos really helped me, and I actually like printed out the photos of him, and I had made him a scrapbook. So that's another idea that you need to use. You could give it to them as a basic graduation gift, or just give it to them out of love, you know. So that was really helpful for me. I actually wanted to give y'all an idea for what you can do to keep your letters neat and all that. So I had bought this scrapbook from Michael's. I think it was about $15, and what I did was, these are my letters that I sent him. I still have to work on this, but I have all his letters that he sent me in here. I literally, as soon as I got them, I would put them in here, but I have to put mine in. But I wrote him so much, like, it's bad. Just a suggestion. I like it better versus like putting them in like a keepsake box, because like you can flip through it and it's something that you can show your children, your grandchildren, like, and I'm getting a little deep now, but it just shows like the love you had for that person. Like, just think about it. Someone you text every single day or FaceTime, you have to now write them letters to communicate with them. Like, that's crazy. And you have to be dependent on the post office to make sure they get everything right so you can get a letter. So definitely it's a test of your love, but as long as you love that person, you guys will be fine. So I'm going to touch on the phone call aspect of basic training. Now, this is one thing that I need everyone to keep in mind that's watching this video, is that everyone's experience is not the same. My fiance, the type of MOS he had, he didn't even have a basic training graduation. So our phone calls were a little different versus someone that would have a basic training graduation. So after my fiance got out of white phase, which is the second phase of basic training, it's red, white, and blue. After white phase, he started calling me every week, and we were able to FaceTime for a couple of hours. Prior to that, we had I think I only had 2 or maybe 1 phone call that was about 10 minutes maybe, or even less than that, because they only had 15 minutes to call someone. And that's hard too, because imagine you don't speak to somebody for 3 weeks. You guys are writing letters, but you don't speak to them for 3 weeks, and then they call you, but they only have 5 minutes or 10 minutes to call you. There's so much that you want to talk to them about, but you can't. So you just kind of got to just condense everything into one. And usually the conversation starts with, I miss you, I love you. And you guys just tell each other that for the next 2 minutes. And then you only have 3 minutes left to talk to them. But luckily, I was able to talk to him every week after white phase ended. So I looked forward to that. But that may not be the case for you if you're the person, you're dealing with. MOS is different. If they have a graduation, more than likely you won't speak to them as much. But it also depends on the base they're at. That all depends. But just keep that in mind. But it was nice, being able to talk to him. It made things easier, but it's still not the same as speaking to somebody every day. So in the letters, I tried to spice things up a bit, and I kind of had a theme for every time I sent him a letter. So Sundays, I would send him gospel lyrics, because on Sundays I would go to church. So just to give him inspiration to get through the week. And then throughout the week, because I honestly don't remember the order I would send them in, but I would send love lyrics. I would send the latest song that's on the radio that everybody's listening to. I would send him, I would draw him pictures. I would send him inspirational quotes. I would send him pictures of me, my dog, of us. I always just had something in the letter, and I tried to not keep it plain. I always had something. I just wanted him, when he saw my letter, he knew he had something to look forward to. So if you have time, just print out lyrics, draw a picture, send a picture, just something to keep it, not plain and boring. Do not send new pictures, because not even new, provocative. Just keep it really cute. I literally had a picture that I was sending Trevon, and my cleavage was showing, and I cut that out because I didn't want to play with the drill sergeants, you know what I mean? Because they will embarrass him, and you'll be embarrassed, and you won't even know it. So just keep it cute. Don't try to be oh, I'm going to poke my butt out a little bit on the mirror. Don't do it. Just keep it real plain and cute, seriously. But just try to, send something every now and then. How much time you have, just try to send something. They'll really appreciate it, and you'll be all right. Well, y'all will be all right. So the best advice I can give you is to not compare your experience to others. So really, don't try to compare my experience to yours, because I did the mistake of doing that, and I really got frustrated. There was this girl, her name is Julie Jigsaw. She has a lot of military significant other videos on her channel. I will link her channel down below so you can just get more ideas and more perspectives on how it is being in, you know, married or dating someone in the military. But she like said her boyfriend wrote her like long page letters, and I got jealous because I'm like, I'm sitting here getting 2 lines. Like the first letter I got was probably like 2 lines. So don't compare your story to others, because you know what, basic training affects your soldier differently. And they may, after speaking to Trevon, he literally had like no time to write me. So you know, just try not to compare your experience to others. Try to have that support. I personally feel like I didn't have the best support system while I was going through this, which made it harder. But what I did was I made vlogs. So like the way I'm talking to you now, this is how I would record it on my phone, and I would just talk, like, I guess you could say talk to myself, but I was talking to the camera, and I was just like venting and saying how I felt about things, how I'm feeling. And I did this every week until basic training ended. So you could do that as well. But just really try to have that support, because it's really hard. And if this is like your first time going through it, it's not easy. Don't listen to other people like, oh yeah, it's easy. No, it's not. The only thing is, on a larger scale, it goes by very fast. Like, I can't believe it's been a year since Trevon has been in basic training, well, left for basic training. Like, this day he was in basic training. So it goes by very fast, but while you're going through it, it hurts, and you know, you just have to be positive. So if you can have that strong support system, you know, get everybody together, you know what I mean, because you really need it. But if you don't have it, do the vlog, like record yourself talking. It's very therapeutic. And honestly, if you guys need anyone to talk to, feel free to write in the comments. Feel free to email me. I'm always here to support anyone going through this, because I know exactly how it feels. And you know, just be positive. You gotta hold the fort down until they are done with this, but in the end, it's all worth it. And it tests you, you know what I mean? It tests the relationship, and it makes you guys stronger. You know, you don't know how you're gonna handle something until you do it. So that's, you know, pretty much wraps up my basic training video. I will have 2 more on this. I'll have the AIT one and the graduation one, just giving you an idea on how those go. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you got to the end, thank you so much. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.